Welcome to the Games Freezer.
Hello, this is Richard, this is Games Freezer, and this is our 10-minute taster for a really awesome game called Rad Rodgers, and I'll be playing it on the PS4 just for you, giving you a nice taster of this awesome retro gaming inspired video game, run and gun, platformer, kind of stylized like a 90s video game, with all the usual tropes within those type of games from the era. So what's the backstory all about then? Well, you'll pick up here on the video from the point where you land in a place called World 1, obviously inspired by Mario Bros, I suppose. So what's happened? How have you got there? Well, at one point you were playing your trusty video games console, which you've named Dusty for some reason. Maybe because he traps the dust in his cartridge slot, more than likely. And then your mum comes in, tells you it's time for bed. You've got to switch off the console, which you begrudgingly do. Halfway through the night, you wake up to your TV, and your TV is fuzzing away just like in Poltergeist, and you get out of bed, try and work out what the hell's going on. You get sucked into the TV and you end up here, World 1. Now Dusty, the video games console, looks a bit like a Super Nintendo. Anyway, he is now your trusty sidekick, who will basically assist you with smashing things with his fists. He's got these massive fists now, and he'll also help you out in the Pixelverse when you need to plug in parts of the level that are missing. Now it's quite a good little twist there. You've got parts of the level that can be missing as you go through, such as platforms, or maybe a missing part of scenery that means you can't get somewhere, or something that's been put in somewhere in error. And what Dusty does is he goes through the Pixelverse, finds the missing piece while battling the bugs, and then bashes it back into place. He'll also be doing a lot of wisecracking as you go along. A little bit of adult humour, which is, yeah, it's fair enough. You've got a choice at the start where you got to choose whether it's an adult or a child playing. There's a few swear words in the game as you go through. Doesn't detract from the gameplay, doesn't add to it, doesn't really make you laugh that much, but it's kind of maybe tapping into the attitude of the 90s, so I can see why they've sort of put that in, so that's pretty cool. Kind of nod to that era, which was what it was all about back then. Every mascot wanted to have attitude, like Sonic, you know, and all that. Oh yeah, by the way, don't go in the water like I just did there. Okay, so that's basically what it's about. You're running, you're gunning, you're running, you're jumping. You are trying to find pieces of a 4-piece puzzle that will enable you to unlock a gate at the end of the level. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, this is the Pixelverse. This is where you need to go in and look to find the missing part of the level, and Dusty to then bash that back into place. Oh, I buggered that right up. Anyway, so yeah, the idea there is that Dusty then finds it, like I said, and bashes it back into place by you pressing triangle. Sometimes there's, say, like 1 piece missing, other times there's 2 pieces, 3 pieces, whatever. You'll need to go through the maze, find the pieces, and as you go on in the game, it gets obviously harder than the initial one where it's just the 1 piece. You'll have noticed there was a little building that I went into earlier while I was rambling on. That's somewhere that pops up every now and again within the scenery. You'll see a little building with a triangle where you can walk in, and normally you'll be given something by the inhabitant, or maybe there's a few people in there, a few little of these weird things. I don't even know what they are, to be fair, I've got to admit. They're kind of like green elf things. I don't even know what they are. Anyway, they give you stuff basically. No matter what happens, you walk in there, you get something from them. So far, everything that I've got has been good. So I'm kind of not sure what it adds to the game, I've got to admit. Maybe they could have had a shop. Maybe there is a shop later on in the game, not sure. But yeah, so that's what those little buildings are for. And as you saw then, you got Dusty smashing the level back into position as he went into the Pixelverse. So that should allow me now to proceed down this hole, collecting these gems. Not sure what they're for yet, but they're bits that you need to collect across the level. Right, now we're going to pan right back because we've got the first piece of the puzzle to get off the level. There you go. Right, you've got a checkpoint that's like a floppy disk, which is pretty cool. Bit like a Commodore Amiga style one, Atari ST, whatever your preferred choice of computer was back then. I was a Commodore Amiga man. Love my Amiga. I'm actually thinking about getting another one. Probably the same one as I had, which was a 600, because it's nice and small, won't take up too much room. And I want to start playing all the classic games again on that. Anyway, this game would have sat quite nicely actually on a Commodore Amiga. You could have seen this definitely being on there. Obviously with the graphics, there's a nod towards the pixel art style, but generally they're kind of like a nice resolution kind of graphics. Got quite a bit of character to the levels as well. There's a lot of moving bits and little hidden parts to the level, so as you go through, there'll be areas that you can't immediately see, but they'll become apparent as you go towards them, and then you'll have to work out how to get inside them. That's pretty good. Normally contain like a heart or something along those lines, maybe an extra life. You know, standard stuff really for sort of platform, but it's nice that you've got that there, a little bit of added incentive to search the level for those extra bits. There's another collectible that I'm not quite sure what it is. It's it'll come up at the end of the level as to whether you get it or not. It's kind of like I don't know, it looks like a medallion maybe or something like that. I'll have to have another look at it, but I haven't found one of those yet. Oh, there you go, it's a secret area. Nice. And you'll notice as you get towards the Pixelverse, it does this really cool pixelization of the screen. So yeah, look, they're just sort of pointing out what it's all about, which is the lazy developers haven't put their platform in place. But yeah, it's pretty cool, that effect, as you get close to it and the screen distorts and whatever. You sort of know that you're near to getting to the Pixelverse and for Dusty to do his thing. Well, I don't know what Dusty's doing here. Come on, Dusty son. Right, where are we going? Right, we need to go down here. So this one should be a little bit harder than the first one. So you get like kind of like tight corridors you've got to get through, avoid the kind of bugs, avoid the walls as well. Pick up those purple blocks as well. I'm not sure what they do. I think they might just add to Dusty's bar, I think. I'm not sure. Love that noise. Gotta love that noise, the save noise. Very good. Right, so as far as the shooting goes, I am crap at it, but it is pretty good. Feels good when you're shooting things. The only thing is you get a little bit of a delay between you pressing the button and the actual gun firing. So I think that's intentional, and maybe I'm being a bit picky, but I think that it should be immediate. But then yeah, that's the challenge there for you, is to know that you've got to press it in advance and then maybe think about where you're going.
Might as well have it.
Right, so this is one of those little caves. So like I say, it's kind of, it's here nor there. You go in it, you get something. I mean, he's given me a jewel, but I could get one of those jewels from over here. So maybe the challenge is to spot the little caves, because sometimes they're hidden in the background. And they're maybe not as evident, so maybe that's the challenge. But like I say, if those little places were little shops or something, I think that might be a better use of them. There you go. Right, okay, here we go. Right, I've got to find my way out of this level. So I think I've only got one piece of the 4-part puzzle so far. So this is only the first level as well. So it's quite a large level, really. It's a good introduction to the way the game works. Obviously, it's not going to be too taxing, but there's loads to it. I mean, you're working your way through this, and it's not like it's from left to right always. You're kind of moving around the parts of the level. You've got different platforms that take you either left or right. It's yeah, very well made. A lot of love has been put into this, you can tell, from people who were potentially around at the time. Yeah, in the 90s. There we go. Right, so we've unlocked that area. I think it's because we killed all of the bug creature things that were attacking me. I'm now jumping around in the trees. Yeah, this is a weird one. You touch this and these kind of, I don't know if they're holograms or what, they come steaming out of the tree like squirrels or something. Yes, got the next part, so it's 3 bits. Ah, you douchebag. I've got many hearts left here. Some of that. Oh, bollocks. That was a bit silly. I think there's only a save point just down here yet. There we go. Right, okay, so up and at 'em, son, up and at 'em.
Ever tried crystal meth?
Ooh, free.
Just crystal? Here, on me! The first try is always free.
So yeah, a bit of edgy adult humour there. Woohoo, crystal meth.
Token of my affection.
Don't know what he gave me. What's he giving
You
me?
let one in and they keep coming. Like ants they are. Oh, take this and scram.
So what I would say is when you get like a little power up or something like that, it's not immediately evident what it is. So you might get a power up for your gun, but it's only when you start firing it that you realise what it actually is. I don't know if I'm just being blind or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't say on screen. Anyway, again, it's a minor thing, and this game is really good to play. It's one of them games you just pick up, you can play it, you can have fun with. It's exactly what I like to do sometimes. I mean, I'm playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild right now, and that is a game that you will lose hours to and you'll be engrossed in, and you know, once you've picked it up, you're not going to put it down. With this, I can see myself wanting do something different, come play Rad Rodgers for like an hour or so, have a load of fun, don't have to think about it too much, it's not too complex, but it's good fun, well made, no glitchy bits. It's a great game. If you like this type of game, you've got to play this. I've got to say. I mean, there's quite a few good platformers out there at the minute, and maybe it's a crowded marketplace, but this kind of does everything really well. I mean, I've been playing Magical Hat, and that's brilliant. There's no, it's a 3D sort of set up with a Magical Hat, whereas this is nice side-scrolling, proper old school, and yeah, right up my street. And this is the kind of games I grew up playing as well, so definitely got a soft spot for it. But if you have a look, most people do recommend this game that have played it so far. So having a look on the Steam reviews, and yeah, a lot of people agreeing with my sentiment. This is a really well made game, and people will start playing it. Like I say, I've got it on the PS4 at the minute. It's available on Steam as well. And there we go. We're gonna smash the hell out of everyone. Woohoo! This is pretty cool. Go on, my son. Swing that bat. It feels pretty satisfying to be running around with that. There we go. And we've got the chunk. Perfect. Hey, wise guys. It's time to get out of here. This is Richard. This is Games Freezer. And this was a 10-minute taster for Rad Rodgers.
Oh, it looks like the door's another level in the bag.
www.gamesfreezer.eu